So I'll just get straight to the first question. Which EU-funded project, Jaromír, do you think in mobility or digital infrastructure has taught you the most about how to spend money effectively, and anything else that you feel connected with it that is worth sharing about?
Mm-hmm. It's important to note that as the City of Prague, we are taking part in multiple project funding initiatives. One of the most important definitely would be the national operational programs that are funded and administered by the national ministries, the departments of state. But we are also taking part in multinational projects under the roof of Horizon, or possibly also the new European Bauhaus initiative.
Hmm.
But we should rather be talking about the first category, which is compared by size much greater. And if we want to stick to the area of transportation, we should definitely mention at the first place the operational program transport or transportation within the context of the Czech Republic, which plays actually quite a crucial role for both larger cities and medium size and small cities. And also what is quite relevant, and that would be fitting to the metropolitan areas. It might sound a little bit quirky, but even in the Czech Republic, we have approximately 10 metropolitan areas defined. So in that case, we have the ITI projects, integrated territorial investments, which are sort of a tool how to take money from multiple envelopes and put them together for the benefit of cross regional cooperation and initiatives like this one. And if you are asking about one specific example
Yeah.
that is teaching us a lot and from which we are certainly learning at the moment, I would probably name the project on support of the electromobility infrastructure construction and building. And that is specifically under the umbrella of Operational Program Transportation 3 under the Czech Ministry of Transportation. And we are, by taking part in this program, mandated to construct approximately 1,500 charging stations until the end of the year 2027, which we hope will make quite a big difference and mean quite a huge leap for the city of Prague when it comes to the real life support of electromobility, because it's quite important and also sad to say that we are lagging behind a lot. And why this should be considered a huge lesson for us, it's predominantly for the reason that the Ministry of Transportation also considered this to be sort of a flagship project, and City of Prague, similar to many other initiatives, serves sort of as an inspirational uh, motive or source of inspiration when it comes to agenda setting for the other Czech cities. You
Hmm.
know, the city of Prague has approximately 1.3 million inhabitants. The second largest Czech city, which is the city of Brno, 200 kilometers apart from the city of Prague, has slightly less than 400,000. So you can feel that there's quite a huge difference. But then there's a bunch of cities ranging around 100,000, and they already have to consider quite heavily if they want to prioritize one agenda or another one. And simply by, financial terms, they cannot do everything at once, even though they would like to.
Yeah.
So if we sort of find and identify the blind alleys for them, we can save a lot of resources and efforts for the smaller cities.
Mhm.
Also, for the reason that the legislation, the regulatory framework in the Czech Republic, when it comes to innovation agendas, is not fully developed, and we are quite frequently trying and forcing new regulations be um, to be let's say put into effect and make the framework ready for the others. And I could name one specific example, and that is the autonomous mobility,
Yeah.
driverless cars, which we have quite recently agreed that could be started in the real life, let's say in the framework of 2 years. And
Hmm.
also only last year we adopted the regulation on driverless subway trains. So it might be quite peculiar because cities in many other European countries like France or Germany are using them for decades. But sometimes even such small things can make a huge difference. And all that actually means a lot when it comes to EU funding, because
Right.
unless you're ready, you can easily miss the goals and measures that are requested in order to make the project a success. And if you miss the goals, if you do not fulfill them, you
Mhm.
are frequently forced to return a huge proportion of the funding, which is
Right.
certainly a thing that no one really wants to do.
Yeah, yeah. And from your experience, Jaromir, what does smart city like? We sort of hang around this concept quite a lot,
Hmm.
and almost probably for more than 2 decades now, at least here in Europe, from my experience. And what does a smart city get wrong about how cities really evolve? And what would be that one concept that you would replace if you got to, let's just say, reboot the whole process of designing smart cities?
You are absolutely right, Vishesh, that this term smart cities has been hanging around for almost 20 years. I do not know exactly when it all started, but until now, still it works sort of as a buzzword. And to many people who come outside of this specialization, outside of this area, it might, evoke or inspire um, the idea that it is something really cool and that there lies a huge pile of money on the ground. And if you just try out new technologies, everything will be, really shiny and bright. But it's not the case, because
Hmm.
cities, especially in the traditional old-fashioned European Union countries like Prague, they are prone to make innovative projects an easy failure if not done right, if not done correctly. And the smart city concept is here to help the cities embrace the innovation, but maintain the existing things
Hmm.
and not replace them at all costs, certainly. So, from our experience, I would say that we are already experiencing maybe a third generation of smart city project. At the
Hmm.
beginning, like 10 years ago approximately, there was this huge enthusiasm about long-hanging free technologies like smart benches that would charge up your phone from solar energy, or uh, street displays showing different sorts of data to the general public, or maybe some very simple sensors. In the second generation, we focused on the big data collection, but at the end of the day, it's all about taking the data into account when it comes to the decision making, right? Because we want the politicians to do the right things
Hmm.
based on the right information, and that way help the citizens. So I frequently say that you cannot achieve a smart city without smart people, but at the end of the day, as I said at the beginning, it's really just a buzzword. So we should be certainly talking more about resilient cities, which is a term that emerged maybe 10 years ago, but
Hmm.
also about educated citizens and educated politicians, because only if you know the possibilities of the technologies that are out there, and if you know how to implement them correctly and how to possibly avoid any hard vendor lock-ins, only then you bring the real value to the
Yeah.
citizens and to the city halls.